Hey, what's up? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I wanted to jump in here and just start off first and foremost by issuing an apology to Dr. Umar Johnson, a brilliant, brilliant brother that I respect tremendously. Earlier, I did a video, and I was trying to be sincere in terms of just telling you what I was thinking about this whole, interesting thing that's going on with Umar. Where honestly I was kind of being attacked a little bit, and there was a part in the video where I did say something about a woman named Crystal who messaged me and said that she was called a cunt for speaking up on behalf of Maria Lloyd, who did a video where she questioned some stuff as far as Umar and the money and what he was doing with the money for the school. And she mentioned a name, and I thought that that name was actually another name for Umar, because Umar has a couple different names, and I just said, I said a woman came to me and said that Umar said this, and I hope that this isn't true. And so I was going to go verify it. So I did go verify it, and it turned out I was wrong. So no, he did not say this to this woman. He didn't call her that. Now from what I understand, there was some language used toward that woman and that whole stripper thing, but I'm not even really going to go into that. I'll let you kind of look that up. I will say that even in that situation, like in most other situations, I supported Umar pretty directly. I've always been a big supporter of Umar, because the thing is, Umar is very rare. He's rare because we don't have a lot of black men that really talk about being a man. If you want to know why I hang out with Damon Dash and do things with him, or I talk to Tariq Nasheed, is because I think that we need black men who are really talking about elevating black boys, making them into men, elevating the community, making the community strong. And I just see, Tariq and Umar and Damon and these guys, they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. None of these guys are perfect, and I'm not perfect either. But at the very least, I think that we have the things that in place that will give some people something to be excited about and to look up to when it comes to the success of the black man. There are lots of other men. There are millions of other men that are doing great things as well in the home, in their work environment, in their businesses, and I want to applaud you as well. It's not just about me or them or us or anything like that. It's about the collective. It's about the collective, and so I'm not here to stand up on a pedestal or put anybody else on a pedestal. In case you don't, if you follow my stuff, you kind of know that I warn heavily against hero worship. Against hero worship. Black people, unfortunately, we are really susceptible to believing that our favorite leader can just do no wrong. I think it maybe comes out of the church. You see a lot of pastors that get away with molesting little boys and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, because it gets to the point where people feel that if you even ask a question, that you must be an enemy. And I think it's very, very important for us to understand that when you talk about supporting the idea of critical thinking, you have to grow beyond that shit. You cannot go through life thinking that if you ask a question, that makes you an enemy. Anybody who attacks you for asking a question is usually doing so because they are afraid of the answer. They're afraid of the answer. I mentioned earlier that one thing that Minister Farrakhan and I talked about. We talked 3 hours one time, and some of this stuff I don't think he minds me sharing. And I remember one thing he said to me was he talked about a critic he had a long time ago that used to just tear him up, and he said he didn't like it. For a while, he didn't like being questioned like that, but he said that she made him so much sharper and stronger and made him defend his point of view. And I think that's kind of the frustration, right? We kind of want to go through life and believe that nobody's ever going to question us, nobody's ever going to challenge anything that we do or say. It's just like a football team. A football team wants to believe that they can go on the field and just run their offense, and the defense isn't even going to show up. They're just going to let them just run the play and make it pretty and all this stuff. But life just doesn't work that way. And so when you get challenged, when things don't go as smoothly as you'd hoped, you make a decision about how you want to respond to that. Do you respond defensively? When you respond defensively, that can communicate to people that you have an insecurity that you're trying to protect, that you are afraid of something. You're afraid you're going to be, I don't know, exposed or ridiculed or have your power undermined. And I don't know if that's a healthy way to respond. I think that a better way would be to answer the questions and to just respect the questions that are coming. Now, sometimes you can't answer everybody. When you're talking to hundreds of thousands of people, the way somebody like an Umar Johnson is, or even myself, I mean, I get 500 emails a day. I can't answer every question. But 99 times out of 100, if you ask me a question, like if you're a student in my Black Wealth Boot Camp and you ask me a hard question, I'm going to try my best to answer it. And if I can't answer it, I'm going to still tell you, look, I don't know the answer. But let's go see if we can find out who does. Let's go see if we can find out this information. So what I would generally say is that if you want to know my position on Umar, I know I made the little video when I was out, at dinner tonight, but I had to make this because I think it's very important that I first and foremost apologize for even quoting what I thought this other person said to me that was inappropriate, and that wasn't meant to disparage him. That was really meant to really address what I kind of see as very disturbing behavior sometimes from brothers that get upset about women speaking up. I think we have a serious sexism problem in the black community. I don't think that it's. I don't like the way the extreme feminists deal with it because they think black men are Neanderthals and that we're worthless and that black women are better off without us. I don't believe that. I don't like that. I hate when I hear that. But at the same time, I think that there are some issues that brothers have to address. I think that we have to speak up. We have to support black women as much as we can. We can't just sort of call women nasty names or talk, like, oh, you weave wearing blankety blank and whatever. You can't do that. I mean, if somebody disagrees with you, be intelligent. Make a counterpoint. Make a counter argument. Be vehement. Be mad and say, no, you're wrong because this is actually true and blah 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 blah. And here's some statistics to prove it. Prove your point. Make your argument. But don't get into the whole like, you ain't nothing but a, blah blah blah. I mean, that's not going to really get us anywhere. And the other thing too that's interesting, I've had mixed thoughts on this, and I'm just thinking out loud here and sharing it with you guys. I've had people tell me, hey, Dr. Boyce, you shouldn't even talk about this in public. You shouldn't even address this issue. Don't, Umar put up that crazy, he put up this meme about me calling me a hater, stuff like that, which if you look at the evidence, I mean, go see it for yourself. Don't even listen to me. Go watch videos I've said and articles I've written on this, but I've always been a supporter of Umar. I mean, I have lost so many friends and so much money supporting Umar and standing by him. So that's just not true. But people will say, oh, you shouldn't talk about it, or you and Umar need to address it behind closed doors. And two responses to that are, number one, behind closed doors. I think that's kind of dead. I mean, like I said, I've given Umar my email, my phone number, I've texted him, I've done everything many, many times because I wanted him to come on the air with me. I wanted to talk it out, like I talked with Tariq Nasheed and some other people, Dr. Claude Anderson, etc. I have reached out to him to do events together. I said, hey, you know what? We got this place that wants you to come speak. They're going to pay you $5,000, Umar. Just show up. I can't get anybody. And now I've even asked people on my page, I've said, does anybody know how to get in touch with Umar? Maybe my number's wrong. 4 or 5 people were like, oh, here's Umar's number. And it's the same number I've got in my phone. So I'm thinking, why is he not responding to me? I understand he's busy, but so that means either A, he doesn't like me for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Or two, he probably maybe needs a team around him to help him execute a little bit better. And this is something we talk about in the Black Wealth Bootcamp about building your business for scalability. I feel that with Umar having a brand that's international, with him just really being, the powerhouse that he is. I mean, he went on the Breakfast Club. We both went on the Breakfast Club. My interview was decent. It was solid. It got maybe 1 million views. Umar killed it. I mean, his interview was so much better than mine. I mean, the brother's bad. I mean, when it comes to laying it down, he is the king of that. He's very good. In fact, it's funny. I mean, whenever I'm in movies, when we've been in maybe 5 or 6 movies, the same films and stuff, I always listen to what I say and I say, okay, that's pretty good, but his delivery is so powerful. And I mean, some of the things he says, I can tell that we learn from each other. I've heard him say things that he's heard me say, and vice versa. And it just always kind of felt like, gosh, we should be friends. I mean, we should be talking. Why are we not talking? Why don't we know each other? And so, I would just say that that's why that was nixed. I mean, there wasn't an ability to talk to him other than going public and talking. But then here's the other thing too. Here's another reason why I think a public discourse is a good thing. Black people have to get past this idea that leaders, if you want to call Umar and I leaders, influencers, public figures, we have to get past this idea that leaders have to be on the same page all the time on every issue. That's just not true. We don't all have to be on the same page all the time. And just because we disagree doesn't mean World War III is breaking out or the whole black community is going to crumble. Because number one, we're not the greatest leaders in your life. You are the greatest leader in your life. You are your own black leader. Don't look to me to be a leader. Look to me to be maybe somebody that can say some things that will empower you, things that will help you lead better in your own situation. Maybe I am a thought leader on certain areas, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we're all leaders together. We're all moving this ship. The days where you had Jesse and Al kind of speaking as ambassadors for the black community, those days are gone. If you look at the most effective movements that black people have had in the last 20 years, the things happening in Ferguson and Chicago and Baltimore, these were leaderless movements. That's what you need. If leaders want to contribute, then absolutely that you can bring your celebrity status or your public figure status to contribute to the movement, but you're not the one who's calling the shots, and that's important for black leadership. Because I'll give you an example. When I was this week, when I was in Louisville, Kentucky, fighting on behalf of Judge Olu Stevens, when they were trying to remove him from the bench for standing up against the use of all-white juries, I participated in several rallies. My presence got people out. When I announced I was coming, hundreds of people came out to because I told them, I asked them to come out, and that was great. But understand, I was not the catalyst in terms of making this happen. This was about the people. The people that are the real heroes in all of this are those those activists from Black Lives Matter and other organizations who were out in the street blocking the traffic, standing out in the cold and the rain all day long, missing work, missing time with their kids, all so they could fight on this issue. So here's what happened when they get to this point where they're like, okay, who's controlling these Negroes? Who can stop this? They're looking at the judge like, you need to stop this. He's like, I can't stop it. This isn't me. They're looking at me like, you need to stop them. I'm like, I can't stop them from going out there. You really think these Black Lives Matter activists are going to stop protesting an issue they care about just because I told them? No, that's not going to happen. And I'm not going to do it, right? So the point is that when you have leaderless movements, you're so much more powerful because you're being led by the issue. You're being led by the cause. You're being led by something purer than the possibility that you can have some guy some bootleg preacher in front of the pack that's going to take a little money in the pocket to get everybody to go home. That's why you need leaderless movements. So we have to get away from this sort of addiction to charismatic leadership and thinking that one monkey is going to carry the whole show. I should have used the word monkey because it's talking about black people. So that one leader is going to carry the show. But you get the point. Okay? So with that being said, my feeling was, you know what? No, I think it's okay to have this conversation in public because I want to defend myself. Number one, I'm like, dude, you're calling me a hater, you're attacking me, and all this. I gave money to your school. I mean, I don't know how much money you gave to my projects, but I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it. I have lost friends. I argued with a professor at Princeton who literally stopped speaking to me because she said, you're supporting Umar Johnson, so I'm not going to support you. And I said, go to hell. I said, Umar's not perfect. I don't agree with him on everything, but you cannot tell me that you don't want to be my friend because I'm going to remain his friend. That's a bullying, fascist kind of political terrorism kind of thing. Like I'm not going to be your friend anymore because you're friends with him. That's crazy to me. That's ridiculous. And so not only did I want to stand up for Umar, but I was also kind of saying, no, this is not appropriate. This does not represent these freedom of speech values and all these other ideals that we claim our country stands for. So to kind of be classified as a hater because Maria Lloyd posted a video on my channel. No, I let the women in Your Black World and the men. We have several people in Your Black World who have something to say, and they have something to say that goes beyond the vast intellect of Boyce Watkins, whatever people may think that is. They have their own opinions. They have disagree with me vehemently on issues, and I support them, and that's really as a personal test because I always do what I call an ego check. As I'm hearing, as I do things, I'm not gonna lie. When you do certain stuff, you get these ego boosters coming at you. You get these people saying, "Oh, you're the greatest that I've ever seen at this." Oh, we follow everything that you say. Oh, these girls over there, they really want to meet you. You get all of that, and I'm not gonna lie, it's very real. And what I try to do is I'm constantly checking my own ego to say, because every man is subject to various temptations. Just like when Umar, that thing happened with the stripper, that didn't bother me because I said, well, okay, so now the secret's out. What Umar uses his penis like every other man on earth. So what's wrong with that? What does that have to do with his ability to speak on issues intelligently and to contribute the way he has? Nothing. So I really don't care what this person. I didn't like the fact that this woman decided to take their personal text conversations and share them with the world. I didn't. I just didn't think it made any sense. I mean, it's her right to do that, but I don't think that people should just sort of. I mean, what are you surprised by? That he has sex? I mean, well, guess what? I have sex too. Everybody has sex. Everybody, like my father used to say. My daddy used to say. My daddy was raw. He used to say, every man is fucking something. And so everybody has sex. So now the secret's out the bag. You probably have sex too. And if you don't, you should probably go do it because sex is actually a fun thing to do. So anyway, moving on. What I would just say in general is, going back, I lost my train of thought here, but I'm going to try to retrain so I can close this back up and be done so I can let you go on with your day. Basically the ego check is important because I think that what we have to understand is that leadership is not just service, but leadership is about being committed to something greater than yourself. And so in every conversation, and this is what I would probably say if I was talking to Umar and kind of advising him, and because he's a little younger than me, I'd probably say something like, in a discussion, who you are and what you've done and how great you are shouldn't really be the first thing that comes out of your mouth. That's just not, that doesn't look good to people, and it doesn't help you, and it distracts from the contribution that you're making to the world. And so again, I can't tell this man how to do his business, or speak on what he's doing. I mean, apparently it must work. Again, because black people have such low self-esteem, sometimes we like leaders, quote unquote leaders, who have these really bit larger than life personas. We like that. We like Kanye West saying, I'm the greatest rapper of all time and the greatest blah blah blah. I'm the modern day Leonardo da Vinci. But actually, and I'm friends with Charlamagne the God on Breakfast Club, and I actually like the fact that Charlamagne broke him down and said, what are you talking about? You sound like an idiot right now because you're talking all about yourself, and you're not. You used to talk about the people. Now you talk about Gucci and Louis and how you're this and you're that and you're a god and you call yourself Jesus and all that, and it's just it doesn't make sense. But honestly, I really think that there's something in the psyche, like with that song with Beyonce, when she talked about she likes big egos. And I guess she was talking about something else, but still, even the ego thing, some people are attracted to very big egos, and I'm not trying to be that guy. I don't think that that helps anybody really. It might help me. It might help me maybe get some girls. It might help me feel good about myself. It might help me, carry my swag. It might help me stay at the front. But what happens if I'm dead tomorrow? I mean, if I die tomorrow, then everything I've accomplished, everything that I represented is gone with me. And people get to sit around and worship and remember how great I was, but they're not going to continue the work that we all began together. And so, if you want to know where I stand, and I'm not really, as far as the Umar thing goes, he's always welcome to call me. I don't think he's gonna call me. I don't know why. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, maybe you guys can tell me what you think. If you know him, feel free to ask him. I'd love to know. I think it's a shame. I think we should be talking, but even if we don't, you're not gonna really see me out here just attacking Umar. But at the same time, I can say I definitely don't do hero worship. And I think it's very important. I think people are owed the truth. I think people are owed transparency and the people that they give money to and look up to. And so even when I sell my stuff, when I push the Black Wealth Boot Camp and stuff like that, if people are asking, okay, is this a good investment or not? I say, you know what? Go ask former students. Go look at the reviews online. Go see what people are saying. And I'm going to put up a status and say, what did you think about the Black Wealth Boot Camp? And then you can just look and see what people are saying about it so you can make your own decision. I don't believe in keeping information from the people. So again, I don't know how this is going to be taken, but all I can do is be as sincere as I want to be. Unfortunately, when you do this kind of stuff, somebody's going to get mad. Somebody's going to say, oh, you a hater, Dr. Boyce, you this and you that. Well, I would just say that if you have an opinion about me, then that's fine. If you don't like me, that's fine. Just back your points up with facts. That means do your research. Go find articles I've written. Go find quotes from articles I've written. Find videos and find things in the videos that I've actually said. Don't just base things based on what you heard somebody thinks about me, or what you think you might have saw, or what somebody put on a meme. I just, that's just, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, anyway, that's about it. I'm about to go to bed, guys. So I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you listening to me. That means a lot. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.